social entrepreneur Lynn Pinugu has made it her life's mission to spark positive change. With her passion for education, sustainable livelihood, and women empowerment, Lynn serves as a voice in championing females across the globe. Through co-founding media platform She Talks Asia, low-cost private school Mano Amiga Academy, and its social enterprise arm, Bistro Cafe, Lynn is definitely taking charge in uplifting numerous communities in the Philippines. Hi Lynn, welcome to Leading Women.
Thank you so much for visiting us, Angel.
The pleasure is ours, and I'm looking forward to this visit here at Mano Amiga.
And we're ready to tour you.
Nice. So please tell us about Mano Amiga.
Mano Amiga, it actually means helping hand in English. And it was inspired by a concept in Mexico. I was there as a youth missionary when I was about 21 years old. Yeah. When I was there, I would go around schools encouraging other young people to volunteer also. I came across this school, it's a high quality school, but when you look at the profiles of the families, they're all from low income communities. And I was blown away because when you talk to them, nothing about them would indicate that they're from a poor family. Meaning they were very confident, they spoke well, they had big dreams for themselves. And I told myself, you know what, this is the kind of project I'd like to bring here to the Philippines. In a nutshell, that's what we're trying to do. High quality education for children who can't necessarily afford it.
At 21, you mentioned the word big dreams. Was it also a big dream for you, or you just felt at that time that it would work?
I fell into it, to be honest. And I think that because I wasn't an educator, I guess it made me more open to researching innovations. It made me more humble in the sense that I'm not an expert, so let me study and let me talk to people who are. When we were just coming up with the model, one of the things we did was we sat down and we said, sige, what about our education system did you want to change? Or what were the things that you found inspiring when you were young? And we said, let's make that kind of school wherein kids would be so excited to go to school every day.
It's important for kids to get excited to go to school every day. They look forward to learning. They look forward to interacting with their classmates. And we speak of kids. Let's go to the classroom.
Okay, perfect.
Since 2008, Mano Amiga Academy has been providing affordable and high-quality education among underprivileged youth. Well, my next question is, what makes Mano Amiga unique? I see a different kind of setup here inside your classroom.
So we're one of the pioneers of what they call project-based learning.
Project-based learning.
Or PBL. And what it does is that whatever they learn in the classroom, they're supposed to apply it to a real-world problem. For example, one of my favorite PBL projects is that the kids, they realized that their electricity rates are high in the community. And they were talking about electricity in the classroom. So they did a project wherein they really studied what makes your electric bill go higher and what could help lower it. And they did an education campaign, telling parents and even here in the school, okay, what do we need to do to lower our electricity bill? So that's why it's so important for us, right? Like if you'll see, so we have an event tomorrow. It's called an open house, and it's an idea carnival wherein the kids will give different people a tour, donors, parents, prospective parents. They'll tour them around the school and they'll talk about like what are the different projects. We want them kasi to understand that whatever they're learning, they need to apply it, right? Because that's what an education is about. I think we want the students to love learning. And I guess that's really one of the strengths of Mano Amiga. The kids love going to school. And for example, this is a student-led event. If you come here and visit, they'll be the ones running the event. I'm always asked where do you base the success? And oftentimes, when people think about success in school, it's often grades, right? Like the grades that they get in reports. Always numbers. But these kids, they've accomplished so much. And yes, they're performing academically. They're performing well academically. But it's really more of knowing that these kids can be the future leaders of the country. I would say that I'm so fulfilled because I see where my work is going. whether it's in the progress of the students or in the joy of the families.
We're here in the grade school classroom.
Yes, it's the grade school classroom.
You have your high school classroom.
Yes.
Maybe we can check that out.
Yes,
Iba naman
definitely.
crowd yun.
Oo, ibang crowd
students
yun. Yeah, so welcome to our classroom. So
Thank
this is
you.
one of our high school classrooms.
But you can see the difference now between the grade school setup, obviously, and the high school. Hi, boys. They're all boys.
Yeah, well, because I think they're setting up something. So kids, what's your project for tomorrow? Jungle.
Jungle po yung team na.
Yeah.
Jungle yung team. Anong grade? Anong year nyo na?
7.
Grade
So
7.
that's like first year high school, I guess, if you compare. Yeah.
The jungle.
Yeah.
And everyone's busy.
Yeah. So they all have their projects tomorrow.
Can you play?
Yeah.
Kahit sandali.
Yeah.
Sige na.
Yay.
Yan. Pwede.
Yeah, go. Show your talent.
Thank you. Salamat, salamat.
Are you performing tomorrow?
As the school's co-founder and executive director, Lynn makes sure that all her students grow as well-rounded individuals who exemplify excellence in their work.
They're just so supportive. I like that. Parang, I guess because the classes are so small, they really treat each other like family.
And you know, that kind of attitude, instead of, or if you just want to cheer for your classmates, or your particular batch, it translates to how they interact and how they behave outside the school.
Yeah, so parang for us, we want them to be competitive with themselves, meaning this is what I reached today, how else can I improve?
What are your goals? So what do you want to happen to the school in the future?
School. Our biggest challenge now, our short-term goal is to be able to finish the construction.
I like that short-term goal.
Our short-term goal, because we do hope that happens within the year. We don't have a roof yet. The school is a bit hot because there's no insulation. That's definitely an urgent need. In terms of the future, we really want to grow the school. We want to scale it up to 5 other locations.
Wow.
And that's our goal, hopefully by 2025.
So this is what makes you happy, Mano Amiga.
Yeah.
Aside from this advocacy, you have other advocacies
Yes.
that we will be talking about.
Yes.
She Talks Asia and Bistro Cafe.
Yes.
So let's hop to it.
Yeah.
Up next, Lynn takes me inside Bistro Cafe and shares stories of Mano Amiga mothers who provide healthy meals for their students. Coming up on Leading Women. As her commitment to provide quality education for students grew, Mano Amiga co-founder Lynn Pinugu sought for sustainable ways to help the school and the families with it improve. In 2010, Lynn co-founded Bistro Cafe, a food delivery business managed by mothers of students from Mano Amiga Academy.
So, welcome to Bistro Cafe. This is an extension of Mano Amiga. This is our social enterprise arm.
Okay, so Mano Amiga, that's solely for the school, no? And of course, a school needs a cafeteria, a school
Right.
needs a canteen. So the concept of Bistro Cafe is very interesting because it involves the parents.
Yeah, so we realized that in order for us to really be able to transform their lives, education is good because it's a long-term investment. But because they come from very poor families, there's so many things or factors that could prevent the kids from doing well in school. Either they can't go to school because they don't have money for baon or allowance for transportation. So we decided we need to invest in the family's financial capabilities as well. So the idea behind Bistro Cafe, so this is our cafeteria and our commissary. Yes, this is a cafeteria for the school, but at the same time, we also deliver lunch meals to different offices. And 100% of our profits help in sustaining the scholarship of the students. But more importantly, it provides jobs to the moms. And so many wonderful stories have come out of that. The kids also, because they're fed better, I mean, they have access to better nutrition, they're also doing better in school. We have one mom who was able to leave her very abusive partner because now she has her own money, so she no longer has to depend on the guy to finance or to support her family, and that gave her the courage to leave. And to me, that's just unintended consequences when we put up the school or the cafeteria. Those are not the things we're planning for. For us, we just want to provide jobs, and then we realize, wow, we can really make a difference pala with these tweaks or with these projects.
And most of the moms have kids in school,
Yes.
and they're able to send the kids to school.
Yes.
And that's so nice when the kids come in. The moms
They see,
are
yes,
they see
exactly.
the moms and they see their classmates' moms.
Right.
And then that translates also to when they go home. So
Yes.
the care still extends from the school to the home and vice versa.
And you know what, Angel? Because the kids know that this is a social enterprise, they have that concept as well. Yun nga, we realize that we're really shaping their minds, sometimes inadvertently, right? But what they see, they also apply and emulate. Nakakatuwa.
Nakakatuwa rin kasi education starts in the home.
Yes.
So talagang doon ang gagaling all the values,
Correct.
how much you love the people you interact with inside your home.
Inspired by strong women, Lynn recalls her life growing up and how her mother greatly influenced her.
Your childhood, we've been talking about the kids, we've been talking about the moms,
Yes.
and how fortunate they are that their kids are in school, and the kids are fortunate that their moms are behind the,
Yes, they're the
kitchen counter.
yeah.
What was your childhood like? What were memories inside the kitchen, since we're inside the kitchen?
You know what, my mom, when I was a kid, my mom is a great cook. I am not, unfortunately. And I think when I was young, she really tried her best to make me interested in cooking. But I was such a bookworm when I was a kid. I really loved reading to the point that I would skip some meals to read. What I remember my mom saying is that I always had an answer for everything. She wouldn't allow me to do this, and I'd always be like, why? And parang I would always I would always debate with her. So she always thought, oh my gosh, my child is gonna be a lawyer. And because she keeps just, I won't accept no for an answer, and I always have to know the reason behind it. My parents were very simple. I remember I grew up with my mom and dad telling me stories from their childhood. Like my dad came from a big family. They were a poor family in the province. My dad alternated going to school with her brothers because they only had one pair of shoes. So parang sometimes it's his brother's turn, sometimes it's his turn. So, mga stories like that, I guess that also instilled in me this desire to help because I know that my parents also came from very humble beginnings. Now, I live a very comfortable life and I got this good education. I'm lucky that I have a good job. I'm actually doing something I'm very passionate about. But I never forget the lessons I got from my parents na one, not everyone has it this easy. But second, whatever you see in the world, it's fleeting. Meaning, right, those are the things that matters.
Coming up, Lynn tells us about her latest venture, She Talks Asia, and how it acts as a tool which emboldens women across the globe. Next on Leading Women. Social entrepreneur Lynn Pinugu does not only value education, she also greatly recognizes the importance of women and the vital role they play in society. In 2017, she co-founded She Talks Asia, a media platform that empowers women. Through its multimedia content and advocacy campaigns, Lynn and her colleagues fervently hope to influence more women to tell their stories and make a difference.
So Lynn, we've talked about Mano Amiga, we've talked about how much you love what you do in the school and the Bistro Cafe. This translates to the students and their parents. Now let's talk about you. I understand that you are also passionate about women empowerment via She Talks Asia.
Yes.
Please tell us about that.
So She Talks Asia, it's a movement that I co-founded with 4 other friends. We started in 2017. And when we started, it actually stemmed from heartbreak. We talk about it. Like heartbreak of different kinds, either relationships, heartbreaks in career, even family relationships. We realized that we want access to, I mean, if we only knew what we know now, we could have dealt with it so much better, except that we didn't have access to that kind of wisdom. So we said, okay, why don't we create platforms or safe spaces where women can talk about these things, and it can be not just a platform for awareness, but also for healing. And that's how She Talks Asia was born. It's really about harnessing the power of narratives to create empathy, to build a community so that we could move the conversation forward and really help create this world wherein everyone has an equal seat at the table. I am very passionate about women empowerment because of my own personal experience working with low-income communities, but also, as a young female founder or as a young female boss, I see in my work that sometimes it's actually the women who are reinforcing these gender-based stereotypes that are harmful, right? So for example, I would always present mostly to male CEOs or male managers because they run the corporate world. But to the few women I have, I remember with one of them saying, you know what, you're only committed now because you don't have your own family yet. But once you have kids, I'm sure like this project will not succeed.
How do you feel?
Of course, that was a blow. Because of course, it was so exciting to see a woman in a leadership position, right? So I gravitate towards them. I just felt like instead of being supportive, they actually made me doubt myself. In the school, I see how sometimes it's the mothers who want to pull out their kids from school. We have this one mom who pulled out her daughter because in Mano Amiga, where it's more competitive, she's not an honor student. Outside in the public school, she was an honor student. And she couldn't take it that her daughter wasn't perfect. Even though her daughter was thriving here, she was progressing well, in her mind, she needed to be perfect. So she pulled her out. And again, that pressure that we put on girls to be perfect. They have to look pretty. They can't be dirty, right? They carry that. And so now we have women, not just women from low-income communities, even women from affluent families who feel this pressure and the need to always be perfect. And I guess those are the stereotypes that I really want to help break. And I hope that's something that we're able to accomplish through She Talks.
How has it been so far with the women? Different fields, I understand.
Right.
Different fields give talks. They share their experience on what it's like to be a woman at a different age, different skin color, maybe different orientation, different gender preference, maybe even.
Having all these women come together and share their own perspective, to me, that's amazing. To me, that's power. It was also nice that because we always feature men in She Talks, we always make sure to include them in the conversation. Yes, we're talking about daughters and how we need to raise them to be brave, but we also need to raise boys. We need to socialize them to find strength and vulnerability. We need to be more conscious about how the things we tell the boys and the girls, but also how we encourage young men and young women to, embrace their truth.
As more women continue to advocate for balance, equality, and acceptance, Lynn believes that now is a remarkable time for women.
I grew up in a family that always welcomed questions. But as a woman, and I started here very young, and I talked to people who are much older than I am, questions were not always welcome. My questions were not always welcome, whether they're questions about the way the world works, or questions about my religion, or questions about like what is expected of a woman. So I guess my truth is being able to help create this world wherein questions are welcomed, where in fact questions are encouraged, and wherein I encourage more people to be part of the discussion and to contribute to that discourse.
Lynn, empower us with your words of what a leading woman is.
To me, a leading woman is someone who uses her unique talents and capabilities to lift others up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angel.
For over a decade, Lynn Pinugu has continued to create more opportunities for the people in her community. Her desire to educate students and provide livelihood for their mothers remains strong. And as she helps more women realize their full potential, Lynn also leads the way to seek deeper acceptance and better the balance.